Welcome back to Waterways Technologies, everybody. We're sitting here once again with director Ronnie Yeagerman, who on the previous video did a great job explaining his past experience, talking about the company's origins, and talking about his role in the day-to-day. But today we want to get into some updates and answer some more questions. First off, Ronnie, how are you doing today?
Very well, Michael. Thank you for interviewing me. I really appreciate it. It's kind of late here in Israel. It's about 11:15 at night. And it's a big day for us. We published our Q3 results this morning or after Tracy's last night. And they were exceptionally good. The company sales went from 9.5 million in the 9 months ended 2020 to 15.7 million in the 9 months ending September 30th, 2021. The quarter, that's a rise of 65%. Actually, in US dollars, it's higher because our functional currency is US dollars. So right now the translation in Canadian dollars is a little bit takes off of the growth, but it doesn't really matter because the numbers are spectacular anyways. The sales from the 3 months between June to September 30th grew from 2.5 million in 2020 to 3.7 million almost in 2021, a rise of over 42%. The nice thing is that our project revenue grew in the 9 months from $2.2 million to $8 million. That's 258% growth, which is exceptional.
Yeah.
And the main thing that I think, which I want to highlight, is the fact that in the 9 months, we had a positive EBITDA of about 700,000 on sales of 15.7, so it's roughly 5% compared to a loss in 2020. So overall, we're having an exceptional year, a lot of growth and profits. And of course, our balance sheet is right now very healthy with proceeds of over $4.4 million from a private placement that we closed in July.
Wonderful, Ronnie. Well, thank you for walking us through some of those highlights. We still recommend you guys go read the press release. And if you have any questions about it, of course, send them over here. We'll happily answer them for you. But Ronnie had some more questions people had sent over. Curious about diving deeper into the business. Are you up for it?
Okay, sure. Shoot.
So one of the questions was, you had mentioned you guys' smart irrigation technology. And as you had said, it seems simple on the surface, but it is a very precise and it's a very computerized process. So do you guys have any competitors or anyone else doing something similar in this field, at least publicly traded?
Of course. None of the companies are publicly traded, but our competitors are giant companies from Israel, so we're competing with them. The largest one is called Netafim. It's a company with sales of over $1.2 billion American, so roughly, let's say 1.6 Canadian dollars. The second one is Rivalis, was about between 500 to 600 million dollar of sales. So our competitors are quite large and substantial, and that's why we have a lot of room to grow. So the total smart irrigation market around the world is about $2.2 billion US. That is, we're in a run rate of about $20 million for this year, maybe a little bit less, maybe a little bit more. So we have, like, if we just want to take 4% market share, we'll be at $100 million sales of $100 million annually. And that's 5 times about where we are now.
Interesting. Yeah, like you said, there's lots of room to grow for you guys here. And I'm curious, as you had also talked about like the adaptability of your guys' technology based on the crop. Are there any specific crops that are more profitable than others for your guys' tech, or at least like an industry that you see higher demand for your guys' tech for?
Michael, that's an excellent question. It's not about the crop itself, but it's the price of the crop in the market. So the higher the farmer gets for his crop, the more he's willing to invest into smart solutions for irrigation, fertigation, and actually cultivation. Okay, so in today's market, the high yield crops are for us. Okay, are blueberries, cannabis, cherry tomatoes, cotton. Believe it or not, is for us a high yield crop, and it was probably irrigation of cotton in Uzbekistan, which is in Central Asia, comprised probably of, I'd say, like 30% of our revenue in the 9 months ending September 30th.
Wonderful. Yeah, it's interesting that you say it's more related to the price they get for it that really drives it forward. And you guys have grown significantly since you first listed. As you just mentioned, the results are going very well. What would you say people should be looking forward to going into 2022 here? Are there any targets you guys have in mind that you can share with people, anyways?
Michael, first of all, we're a public company and we're not supposed to give you forward-looking straight statements. You know that as well, for any publicly traded company. So I'm not going to do that. I'll give you a heads up that we have a strategy of growth. We have seen substantial growth in 2021, and it's growth in all areas. So if you walk through our MD&A, you analyze our geographic growth, our product growth, you can see that it happened in all territories, whether it's Canada, whether it's South America, whether it's China, all the territories we operate in, we experience growth, and we really expect that to continue in 2022. There's a big demand around the world for smart irrigation solutions, and we're part of that demand. So sure, that's like that. That's exactly what I think for 2022. We have said in the past that we are looking to grow through mergers and acquisitions. We still hold that strategy. We closed one acquisition in 2019, one in 2020. We haven't closed anything in 2021, but certainly there's a high possibility of us doing something in 2022.
Wonderful, Ronnie. Well, thank you for some of the spoilers looking forward. I know you can't say much, but it helps to give people just somewhat of a timeline of things. And again, thank you everybody for watching. If you guys have any
Uh,
questions for us, we'll happily dive into them. Any closing words, Ronnie, before we go?
oh yeah, I just look at the stock chart. Last December, December starts tomorrow. Last December, the stock traded at 4.5 cents. Today, it's trading at 32 cents. So, I'm really grateful for all the investors who bought the stock, who helped us in this journey, all the people who participated in the private placement, which was awesome. I think there were about 71 investors, if I recall correctly. And all the people who watch the stock and buy the stock, we're really grateful. It's been an excellent year for us, and I hope it will be for the fourth quarter of the year as well. So thank you very much, and good night from Israel.
Wonderful. And good night from here in America. Ronnie, enjoy your evening.
Thank you.